edge. You know
I
how
know
it
where the cat is
is.
live now.
You lift one weight, and then poof, you're big and muscular.
That's why I don't even
Everyone
lift
hates
weights,
being big and muscular.
yeah, I don't want to get huge, so I don't lift weights.
Yeah, neither do I, except for every once in a while, just to show that I can.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
I guess we're live. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
yeah, that's good. That's
It's all
good.
right. Been doing the NaNoWriMo thing, so
Go.
my average is still above 2,000 a day,
Which is kick ass.
but I didn't do very much yesterday, and I'm gonna have to really pick it up today, starting now, because I only have like 500 words done today so far.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, some mayonnaise.
Someone's got to do the intro.
All right, so on the intro. This is Death Pirates Radio, a podcast about tackling various development challenges to help us push our limits. We come up with challenges, then complete them, and talk about how they were solved every other week. I'm doing awesome. We encourage anyone who's interested in playing around in programming, game development, writing, and various other challenges to join in on the fun. Each challenge should be accomplishable in about 1 to 6 hours of work. A new challenge will be presented at the end of every episode. A person can spend as much time on each challenge as they want. Like if you want to spend more time. Many of the solutions will be discussed. We'll even talk about solutions to previous challenges. Just email us at contact@devpirates.com with the challenge name in the subject line. I'm Matt, and with me as always is Pete.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. I just got a new phone, and I need to tell it to shut up.
That is the Google Nexus 6P, right?
Yes.
It's a beautiful phone, man.
It is. I tested out the camera a lot, and the camera is like really good.
Yeah.
I was taking pictures of, things in the dark.
Whoa.
As one does.
Be sure not to accidentally put that on the podcast.
Too late.
I like your kaiju shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Stop rubbing your nipples.
It's what you do.
That's what you do.
So, tonight's Death Pirates challenge was brute forcing. I'm hearing myself coming through yours.
Yes, I'm not using my headphones. Hold on 1 second.
What? Because you don't want to look like a dork?
Yeah, like not wearing headphones will solve that for me.
I didn't say it would solve it. You just might think that it would solve it. So the challenge is has a few things. Create a little program that tests out every conceivable combination of an alphanumeric password. The password be mixed case alphanumeric and 5 characters long. The password was MD5'd into the following string. Just MD5 the guesses until you get an MD5 hash that matches. And that's it. So that was the challenge.
I heard all that.
Did you want to? I ain't doing your research on this one, so we can skip that section. Methinks.
Yeah, it really didn't take any research. Although, if I wanted to do it using recursion, I would have. I don't know if I would have researched. Probably would have just taken a bit of trial and error.
I did recursion, so you can see my solution on that.
Ooh.
It's not. It's pretty basic recursion. It wasn't something super awesome. For the demonstration, I am just setting it up.
I decided against a demonstration since mine ran for 20 minutes.
Well, for the demonstration, I am going to reduce some of the letters it's going to guess.
Mm.
Because mine took about 2 minutes and 15 seconds for 5 characters.
Wow. And that's going through all the letters, both upper and lowercase?
Yep. Well, I made it a upper and lowercase password,
Right.
but it was only alphanumeric, so that's what, like
36.
32,
Yeah.
62
Yeah.
characters. 62 times 62 times 62 times 62. It's not that small.
You could have just said 62 to the 5, but
62 to the 5 sounds like I'm being pretentious.
yeah, and you wouldn't want to do that.
No, of course not. Let me share my. I'll show my solution. Zoom in.
Whoa.
Can you see that?
30 lines of code.
I know. So this is the hash, as we know, and then the length. I already knew what the length was. Conceivably, you would first test out a certain amount of length, and then you go the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So you'd have like a loop inside of these recursive function calls.
Yeah.
So here's the function.
You could just have a while loop, say that until that returns true, it keeps calling that function with a longer length.
Yeah, until it returns. Well, the thing is, you just have like a for loop, and it keeps increasing the length.
Yeah.
Every iteration. But since I already knew the length was 5, I just did it this way.
Right.
And then, so it starts with just calling this recursive function. I pass in a blank test string. I pass in the hash, and I pass in the length.
Mm-hmm.
So if the test string is longer or equal to the length, I always just do greater than or equal to, just in case something weird happens.
Mm-hmm.
That way I never have to worry about an infinite loop.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it so I never have to worry about an infinite loop, even if I mess something up. So I MD5. This can probably be reduced down to just put in this line. It doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
And then if it matches, then I hit pass, and then I return true. And on returning true, you'll notice if I return, so if passing this returns true, then I return true. Otherwise, I keep going. This exits out. So every time I call the recursive function, if I get a return true off of that function, I stop going through the for each.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it just backs up out of every single recursive function I've been up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see, that's just the test. Here's the list. I reduced it down to this one because this one takes about 30 seconds. I will share that a little bit later. And where are we at? Then I just go through. I split this into an array, and then I go through each one, and then I add each one to the to this next variable, and then I pass that into the recursive function, and then I just keep going. So it's going to start with A, and then and the next one's going to add A. So the first one is going to go into 5 depth, and it's go A, and then A, B, all the way through. It's brute force.
Right.
And then that's it.
Cool.
The thing with brute force, it's extremely simple to write, but it takes forever, if you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Normally what happens with like a brute force thing is you just set it to run and you forget about it for weeks, and then it will like usually set it up to notify you when it's done, or you just look to see when it's done and check back every once in a while. But yeah, brute forces are kind of like a run and wait type of thing.
Yeah.
I could set this up to do random characters, and random characters doesn't exactly it doesn't make it run any slower, but it has potential to make it I don't know. Instead of going from AAAA, which obviously is not going to be someone's password unless they're like a Emperor Scroob. You can just get random characters and just eliminate each one from the list.
Right.
So and you could just grab a random character from your list and then eliminate that, and so you can iterate through random characters.
Yeah, but there's just as much probability of it taking forever. I guess no one's gonna have a password of 9999, so that it might be faster in a lot of cases. But
yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
No,
it doesn't really matter. But you could get lucky and a random one will work.
Sure.
You never know.
Yeah.
Another thing people will do that's a little bit more elegant than brute forces is they'll use a common password list.
Rainbow table.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes even those rainbow tables, they'll have a little bit of variations on the passwords. So you have like one that says password. Oh, well, what if it's a capital P, or lowercase p? So I have like different variations of the same one.
Right. Right. So you could have your brute force thing run through the common passwords first.
Yeah, and just do a little bit of brute forcing on each of those. Like, oh, what if it's a capital P and a number 4 and 2 5s? You know, someone tried to be all weird about it.
Well, and with the number of people who are sharing this kind of stuff that they're sharing the stuff that they've cracked, there's actually a ton of huge rainbow tables out there. So a lot of times, and I found it was the case in for your password, that you can just look for a rainbow table, a searchable one on the internet, and then search for that hash, and sometimes it'll match.
I don't know if that classifies as a rainbow table, though.
Well, I guess this is kind of the reverse.
This isn't a normal. I didn't do a normal common password.
Right, but this is a rainbow table that basically says you put in a hash, and if they've already cracked it, they'll just feed you the literal string.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can do lookup tables like that too.
Yeah,
and that can save everyone a bunch of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to demonstrate your thing, or?
Why don't you go ahead and go through yours, and then we'll do the demonstrations.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do a demonstration of mine because it would be slow and ugly. But I will share my screen. Okay. This is how I did my array. I could have done the same thing you did, Matt, by just tossing in a big string and then splitting it up. I don't know. I just tossed that into Sublime Text and regexed it into this real quick.
Well, the way I did it probably increases the cycles a little bit. When you're doing brute forces, every calculation counts. So this is probably a more efficient way to do it.
Yeah. Either way, it's something that only needs done once.
Well, yeah. If you only do it once, it's not that big of a deal. I did it in a way that I do it every time, or every time I loop through the strings. But anyway, whatever.
Right. Okay. So I did actually start programming. Apparently, I didn't pull this out. This was when I was going to try brute forcing using recursion, starting at a single character length and then moving up, but I didn't go that way because I was pressed for time. Anyway, so this is where system.out.println roll goes. It just calls the function inside the print. Create the strings. Then I do a nested for loop. And by a nested for loop, I mean a total of 4 nested for loops inside the first one. And every single for loop, this one's just like, okay, start at the top of the array over here, and then just let these for loops run. So essentially, it's going to do the same thing yours was doing, which is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5 is going to go through, then 4 is going to iterate, then 5, then 4, then 5, then 4, then 5. Once 4 is done, 3, then 4, then 5. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, and then right here at the end in the fifth for loop down here, I just do a I turn MD5 check, which is the I had to do some weird stuff. This actually I did do a little bit of research on because I needed to know how exactly to get my hash to match your hash. So I had to create a byte array and digest the byte array, which is it is the string up here. So you're digesting pass 5 into a bunch of bytes. And then for each byte, I'm basically turning into the hex representation of it.
Uh-huh.
And then this is probably where a lot of my slowdown comes from. Also, because I'm using strings instead of string builders, it's actually creating a string for every single one of these. And Java, you can't just get rid of them. You have to wait for garbage collection. So if I was smart and I was looking for optimization, I would actually use a string builder and then just have it check every single one at the end. So it's just, it'll be one string instead of 5 being built every single iteration. Okay, and then I just compare them to each other. Oh no, this is saying MD5 check is going to be this string build or string buffer and turn it into a string. Okay, print it out, check and see if they match. If it matches, return that, and then you're done.
Nice.
And you can see I really got into the exception handling down here.
Yeah, you handle those exceptions pretty well.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
This is something you never see in Java code, right, Matt?
Yeah, someone catching something and doing nothing with the catch.
Yeah, no one ever does that.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, that's mine. And I won't show it to you. I won't make it run because it's super slow.
All right. Well, I got mine ready to go because I removed some of the characters. So why don't I screen share this one? Go at it.
Oh, does it not print anything out the whole time? It's actually processing right now.
Yep. I don't print anything out till the end. I think even reducing it down this far, it still takes close to a minute. So
Does
we
your
have to fill
browser
some
timeout?
data. Nope, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
What I did is I removed all lowercase characters except the lowercase k.
Ah, yeah. That'll pull it down by 25 iterations per letter.
Yeah.
Time. So, nice.
And that is, I know, super speedy, but that's brute force.
Super speedy. All right. Yay. Solved.
Another one bites the dust. Another one's gone. Another one's gone. Another one busts. Got sued by singing the song.
That's okay. Freddie Mercury's dead. It's fine.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. It's okay as long as they're dead.
Yeah. That's the rule, right?
So happened to Mickey Mouse, right?
Oh, shit. You had to say Mickey Mouse. Okay. So I believe you've got challenge 11?
Yeah, it's already up there because I set it to auto post tonight. For all game designs that will have levels, missions, and/or quests, each of those have to have some kind of an end goal. I know, this is amazing, brilliant work.
Does this sentence?
This is not a level design challenge. That will be that will be later. This is just the end goal. I'm just reading the post. Anyway, so this is a end goal design. It's not a level design. This is you setting up a condition for your level to be completed.
Okay. How in depth should we get with this? Should we get like partial? Like these are the steps I need to get to the end.
If that's the way your level is to be completed. Basically, it's this. Design what the end goal is for a level, mission, or quest in your game. Implement that in your game. Give the user some kind of feedback that they have accomplished the goal.
Okay, so we are actually going to build a level.
It doesn't have to be a level. It just has to be something that has the winning conditions for a level.
Okay. Okay.
Because this isn't a level design challenge. This is not, oh, well, I'm making this brilliant level. This is, oh, well, these are the end goal conditions. I need to make sure my end goal conditions work in my game.
Okay.
So you will need a level, but it doesn't have to necessarily have to be a fully designed level.
Okay.
Basically, and as an example for my game, my guy has to get across the board to the other end safely. So basically, he just has to be alive when he reaches the other end of the board. Boom.
All right,
Probably
then.
you won thing. That's the winning condition. So the level I have to make just has to be a level where he can get from one end to the other.
All right.
Kind of Super Mario-like, except this is going to be more like, well, it's supposed to be more like Minesweeper.
Or Lemmings.
Yeah, Lemmings / Minesweeper.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the challenge for next time. I believe we are to talk about our projects now. Projects. Gears of Fate. Any movement on?
I would like to say
Sorry,
yes.
have I been working on what?
I was going to ask if you've been working on anything besides NaNoWriMo.
I've worked a little bit on the design of the unicorn boss.
Nice. Is the unicorn
that's pretty
boss
much been
after
it.
the frog boss?
The unicorn boss is the boss of the third zone, like the boss, not the mini boss.
Cool. Needs more retro in your game.
Well, he's going to be a chrome robotic unicorn. So,
is Adult Swim Games gonna sue you for that?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can sue for unicorns.
That's true. They've been around a while.
I mean, they're not. What was that? Candy Crush, where they tried to copyright the terms candy and crush.
Well, Microsoft tried to copyright Windows, so.
And they're perfectly fine to do that as an operating system.
Right. But not the word.
Right. Correct.
Anyway, so
I have Gears of Fate.
Done anything on Gears of Fate. I do mean to get with Heather and start doing the music on that.
I didn't actually do anything on Dev Pirates last week. I did it this week. Today, in fact.
Well played, slacker.
Yeah. I was busy with NaNoWriMo for half that week, 2 weeks. Let's see. For this level 1, I'm going to try and get that done periodically throughout the week, the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for Nerd and Loathing, I edited the podcast last week.
Oh, nice.
I
kept myself alive. Does that count as anything?
Well, I think we canceled everything you were going to work on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In lieu of working on NaNoWriMo.
Which
you work on NaNoWriMo today?
I'm succeeding horribly at NaNoWriMo. I got 1,000 words in today, and that brings my grand total up to 7,000.
Yes. So, well, was the goal for today? Where's my... So they
what-
say you need to be at 15,000. So you're halfway there.
Whew. It's a good thing that goalpost isn't going to be moving every day.
Well, was it if you're at 7,000? Actually, I don't know if I can do the calculations on that. If you're at 7,000, you need to do 43,000 in 20 days. So that's what, like, you have to do like 2,150 a day for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
That's actually not too bad. I've been doing about an average of 2,000 a day,
Yeah. Well,
and I write slow.
I'm hating my story a lot. So,
All right. I would like to talk about that with you afterwards.
no,
Why not?
I don't talk about shit.
I think that is it. Maybe working on Ride this week a little bit.
Mhm.
I still want to keep that one going.
Right.
And this week we're supposed to be working on Nerd and Loathing tomorrow.
Yep, we'll be podcasting, I think.
And that is it. We have a pretty light thing because we're trying to do the NaNoWriMo.
Yeah, which I'm failing at. You know, maybe I'm just a failure.
Yeah. Maybe time is a piece of wax that's falling on a termite that's choking on the splinters.